I have a question. Does the filter, can that be put on any kind of mask? So,
Absolutely.
so you have high-speed production of masks right now. So is this added to the existing production lines?
Absolutely, that's a great question. And in fact, if I go onto my appendix slide, right over here, this is an accessory that it's versatile and it can be integrated with any kind of mask, be it surgical masks, N95 respirators, even the KN95 variants, and even half these piece respirators for that matter, as you can see here.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Wow. So is it, again, back to production, is it added after the production cycle, or would you provide this product to manufacturers?
So to answer your question, it can be done in both ways. The most
Okay.
preferable way would be to implement this along with the manufacturing line with additional instrumentation, which will be implemented after the masks have been produced. But we also possess technology such that it can be readily implemented on the fabric itself as the mask is being produced.
Interesting. Do you see yourselves licensing this to manufacturers, or?
Our current go-to strategy would be to form a small LLC and work on commercializing the product ourselves with an estimated timeline of 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and our last resort would be licensing this technology to mass manufacturers. But we do look to partner with commercial manufacturers of thermochromic inks, as well as mass manufacturers to expedite the product timeline to market. And these include LCR Hallcrest, 3M Technologies, Kimberly-Clark, etc.
Right. Right.
I guess one question I had is what kind of testing have you done, I think, up until this point to kind of understand sort of the efficacy and I guess the reliability of the qualitative representation of the colors that the seals are displaying for you? Like, how confident are you, I guess, in that? When it's green, it's green. When it's red, it's red.
Right. That's a good question, and that's what we were intending to cover in the resources slide. So thus far, we have performed qualitative testing in the sense we can reliably correlate each color change, which is very resolute with the body temperature, to how conformal the mask is with the user's face. However, to establish a qualitative-quantitative correlation, we are currently performing quantitative fit testing using an industrially accepted port account fit tester, which is what they use in chemical, biological laboratories, construction, and mining industries, to evaluate a parameter called as the fit factor and correlate the fit factor of the mask with the color change that we observe. But thus far, from a qualitative standpoint, the results have been remarkable, and they can reliably validate whether there's a conformal contact or not. I hope that answers the question.
That's very helpful. Thank you. Yep.
Yep.
I had a question. So it sounds like you have the main IP is this fit around the face that will react to body temperature. And that you want to, you're in essence, you're building a better mousetrap because there currently are like the N95s. Have you thought about price points and kind of how you compete against, an established entrenched player?
That's a great question. So, just looking at the, current pricing for thermochromic labels, some of the commercial products that are possible with this technology include strip thermometers, forehead thermometers that use the same technology as ours. And considering economies of scale for like 1 million units, for example, it takes about 2 cents to produce about hundreds of these labels. So if you think about the additional costs that it would incur the manufacturer to integrate this onto their manufacturing line, just from a cost of production perspective, it would not be more than 10 cents to what they have additionally. considering that you're about to produce 1 million units of this.
Right, and if you were looking at doing this yourself, right, so you would end up, you know, having your manufacturing lines and whatnot.
Mhm.
Have you looked at like contract manufacturers? To
Contract
understand?
manufacturers to kind of expedite this into production, we want to partner with the manufacturers of the TLC labels, and as you mentioned, look at contract manufacturers to help us expedite the production of these masks in the near future. However, I mean, the systems to incorporate these labels around the periphery of any kind of masks, they already exist within the market. It's all a question of, pulling these things together onto one line to expedite the timeline to market as well as expedite the manufacturing process.
I'm curious on your team, how you have a freshman in high school as part of your team.
Right. So I think so I'm an engineering major. I have pretty much my background in R&D and technology, and Justin over here is from the Manning School of Business and kind of helps us on the business analytical sides. And Pranav over here, who's a freshman, he brings in value from both perspectives, engineering as well as from the business side, thinking of creative ways, we can kind of improve on this technology. And we came across Pranav through a mutual contact. It was actually his idea for using thermochromic inks as an indicator of seal, since this can respond to body temperature. And after a little bit of brainstorming, we decided to pursue this venture.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
It's great.
Are these, I'm just curious, are these thermochromic inks the same types of materials that they use in like those pediatric head strip thermometers, for example?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The exact same ones. Yeah.
Very cool.
And I think the manufacturer LCR Hallcrest, it's one of the major players in this market, and we are in contact with them to kind of partner with them to build upon our technology, furthering the application of their existing product.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sorry, have you already filed provisional patents, or is that part of the next steps?
It's part of the next step, and I can say it will be done within the next 3 weeks.
Oh, okay, so you've already had discussions, you've already established your claims and whatnot.
So for the provisional patents, we've done everything except for the claims. We really want to kind of develop the product a bit more before filing for the actual patent. It should be within the year's time frame.
Right. Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions from the judges?
No, it's great.
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, Group TrueFit, thank you very much. And
Great, thank you very much for having us here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck.
Appreciate the opportunity. Yep. Bye-bye.